Anyway, let us take it to the next topic. Let me see what we got here. Somebody asked this, and I just found this to be funny. Should people read The Great Gatsby first before seeing the movie, or should we accept that we are now a post-literate society? Number one, where in the world did you come up with this question? Like, no disrespect, but I don't even know exactly what it is that you're saying about this. I don't even know nothing about the movie. Like, I know the movie's out. Well, actually, is the movie out? I guess I saw people complaining about it this weekend, but is it out? I don't know. Anyway, people tell me that they love The Great Gatsby. People tell me they swear by The Great Gatsby. And Brent just asked, who hasn't read The Great Gatsby? I haven't read The Great Gatsby. Not because it wasn't assigned, right? I just never read. Now, I tried to read. I remember I got up to a point with The Great Gatsby where I was like, man, I ain't reading this no more. Like, we got up to, I forget what chapter it was. It's like the third, fourth, or fifth chapter, somewhere in there. And it starts with this whole series of clauses that is like difficult to follow as that part of the Bible with the begats. Such and such begat, such and such begat, such and such begat, such and such begat, such and such. You know what I mean? All that begatting or begetting or begotten or whatever. I'm just telling you, I had enough. That really wasn't what I was about. I really wasn't trying to get down with that begots, right? And I decided I wasn't reading that no more. Like, all the books in high school, you needed to explain to me by and large why we were reading them. Because I always felt like they were just making us read books and then they wanted to give us quizzes about them because they needed something for us to do. That's what I always thought that they would do. So, like, any book that I did not get a clear understanding of why to read in high school or middle school or elementary school, I didn't read it. Great Gatsby, didn't read it. I'm trying to think. Other than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest senior year, I'm trying to think of how many books I read all the way through. I remember in 11th grade, we had a project where it wasn't a book report per se, but you had to do like what was the equivalent of a book report, but it only had to fit on an index card, right? Like, it was a really cool exercise because it got you to boil this stuff down, but it only had to go on the index card, right? What book did I use? James Baldwin's Go Tell It on the Mountain. I haven't read that either. Nope. Didn't get around to that one. Sorry, didn't feel like it. I just felt like you were just making me read a book for the sake of. Like, if I wanted to read a book, damn it, I would have read a book. I know how to read. That was my thing. I know how to read. I don't need these suggestions. I already know how to read. Man, I went and asked that lady if she'd ever read Go Tell It on the Mountain. She said no. I can't remember what I put on there. Keep it in mind that this is the pre-internet era. Man, I might have said that Go Tell It on the Mountain was about 4 pizza-eating turtles who lived in the sewer. You remember that? When Fraser Crane did that to the dudes in Cheers? That's basically, if I could find any way to do. Like what Fraser did at Cheers, we had the book club where he'd tell them they were reading Oliver Twist, and then it would be like a comic book. Right? I didn't read anything in high school. Like, I look back on it and I feel really bad for it. But I feel like they need to do a better job explaining to us why we got to read these books. Because I do see a lot of the reason behind reading The Great Gatsby, right? It gives you this portrait of the 1920s. It gives you this picture of the times, and it gives you this idea and this understanding of this main character who has become someone else, basically, right? As I understand it, or what I can halfway glean, or what I can partially recall. So Jay Gatsby gets to be so big and everything else like that, but he's nouveau riche. His clothes ain't hot. They ain't up to snuff. I remember something, there was a part in there where Fitzgerald gave a very clear description about how his clothes were, if they were talking about it today, Bama, right? But then he goes and he sets up this house and he's got it, and he's looking across the way at that Daisy chick who, as D'Angelo and the homies in The Wire said in their prison group, really didn't seem to be worth all the stress and drama that he was putting into it, right? Didn't really see it. So when he got to the house, he was looking at the green light. That what it was? There's a green light across the way. Like, I remember us talking about it in class. And I don't want to say cheating on the quizzes as much as cramming for the quizzes. Right? Either way, like, there's a lot of great stuff to be picked up there, and a lot of things about identity and the way that people get caught up in these things they want and don't even realize it. Like, I always say, I don't have goals. And people think it's crazy, but you can look at The Great Gatsby and see what I'm talking about. So Gatsby gets all the stuff that he wants, and it's this chick that he decides that he wants, and she's not even worth it. But you set out for that. Your heart has been set on that for so long, and now you got it and you don't even want it. It's the greatest okie doke that we all set ourselves up for, right? That's it. We all set ourselves up for the okie doke. A lot of times with that. So much to be learned from that. I ain't read the book, and I really ain't got no desire to go see the movie. I was, however, intrigued, unlike most people, with the idea of like modernizing the soundtrack and the likes. Because if you're talking about The Great Gatsby and the sort of story that you have there, the Jay-Z parallel is there. Now, I have a problem, of course, like most people do, with a certain degree of anachronism in movies. So the idea that you got rap music in a 1920s movie, I see why people have a problem with it. That said, I did not have that problem with Idlewild. And the whole idea was we set it in these times because it looks cool, and then we put the music on top of it in Idlewild. It didn't bother me on that. You asked me to go watch Hoosiers, and I hate it. I mean, hate it, 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 hate it. Anyway, I don't know what the hell you was talking about with this post-literate society stuff about The Great Gatsby. And should people read it like this is the first movie ever made that came from a book. I do appreciate your long-worded, big-worded, hyphenated question.